In this video we're gonna replace passenger side axle. Initially I replaced driver side, spent hours doing it, so hopefully I got some experience on how to do passenger side a lot easier and faster. First of all, make sure you use Subaru axle. The one I had in the vehicle was aftermarket and it snapped without having any other symptoms. Just while I was parking, it snapped and vehicle couldn't drive. Here's a part number, made in Japan. And not sure if it was a special or what, but I paid only 180 or 190 per axle. Actually 198. And 406 per axle nut. And that's part numbers for axle and axle nut. Make sure you use this, because once you remove an axle, especially I think driver's side, the vehicle might start rolling. And also use parking brake. Gonna start by removing lug nuts, and it's 19mm lug nuts. Now I'm gonna remove the wheel. So most videos tell you to remove those two nuts and bolts. Then you'll pretty much move out the wheel hub assembly and remove axle this way. Problem with this one is you have to take good measurements here, mark the bolts, and even after that you might have to do alignment again. So I'll do it the other way. I'm gonna remove this bolt right here, remove this bolt joint from top, and I'm gonna remove axle that way. It's not easy though. I spend hours working on the other side, so hopefully this time it'll work better. One of the issues here is to make control arm go lower easier, you have to remove stabilizer link, but they are very tough. I tried to use this 6mm hex or whatever it's called, this here, and this one, some other size. Now that I look at it, for some reason this one on the other side was different size nut. So maybe I'll try to remove it on this side. Okay, let's see. Not good, because this material is not durable and eventually it'll just get stripped. So I'm gonna do it without removing this. My advice also, if you're gonna do this, just in case, you could order a new replacement, maybe other brand, because this design with this and wrench here sucks. I think if you replace this with Moog brand, it might actually be better off. Gonna remove this 17mm bolt that holds a bolt joint in place. It's really tight there. I'm gonna use ratchet with extension pipe to get it moving. Now I'm gonna work on axle nut. I'm gonna try to straighten it out a bit. Small screwdriver. Okay, that's much better. Now I'm gonna loosen the axle nut. I'm gonna put a screwdriver here so that the rotor is not moving around. I'll use breaker bar and 32mm socket. Okay, got it. I think this part is gonna be the toughest one, where I'll spend maybe hopefully less time than I did on the last axle. And this one I'm gonna have to lower the control arm to get the bolt joint out of the wheel hub assembly. And I tried to use my pry bars but my pry bars are not long enough to make it easier, because the best way to do it is through here. But as you can see, it's kind of short, so I had more luck with this half-inch extension, so I'll try to use that instead. I guess I'm gonna first have to try to break it right here, but you have to make sure you're very careful and don't destroy the ball joint, because I broke one on the other side and I had to replace ball joint. Moved a little, so let's see if it's gonna work now. Gonna remove this and push the axle back. Okay, I think it's going awesome. Worked a little bit different this time. This is the breaker bar right here, and it looks like the ball joint is still good, didn't scratch anything. So now let's remove the axle from the wheel hub assembly. Okay, so we've done that. That's another part that's tough, is removing axle from the transmission. Got this one on Amazon for like $18. That attaches to the slide hammer, but no idea if it would actually work here. I don't see a good angle to attach it. Nope. So that's gonna be returned. Now you could use pry bar in that area to try to get it out, but it didn't work on last one, so I'm gonna show you my trick. And it worked on this one, it worked on Honda Ridgeline, it worked on other cars. I think that's a really good way of doing it. So that's my tool, slide hammer with two vice grips. Now to get to it, we have to remove this portion. For that, I'm gonna have to cut out this to remove the rubber piece. I'm not sure yet how to loosen it best. I'll try with the pick tool first. It did its job, but it bent the pick tool. So now I can try to use screwdriver. Okay, broke. What's interesting is I think this one's actually original axle. The other one was aftermarket. Okay, now I'm gonna remove this. Wow. So here I'm gonna show you parts of removing driver's side, so you know what I'm talking about. This one, maybe because it's original, came off very easy. I have no idea if it was even worth it replacing this one. Driver's side sucked. This one actually looks pretty good. So just to show you, used the original one and used driver's side aftermarket, obviously very different. So it's a new one, I'm gonna prep it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some white grease here to make it go into transmission easier, and it also makes removal in future a lot easier too. Now I'm gonna gently push it from this side to make sure it sits in properly. And it's in. Now I put it in a wheel hub. I'm gonna hand tighten the new axle nut. Now I'll be back into that tough part. which is putting the ball joint into the wheel hub assembly. Maybe I did it. Gonna try to tap the bottom with a hammer to see if it will go in more. And looks like it did. So I'm gonna secure this bolt. I'm not gonna do it tight, want to make sure it's going fairly easy. I'm gonna secure this bolt with torque wrench, and it's 37 foot-pounds. That's good. Now we're gonna work on tightening the axle nut. It's 162 foot-pounds. I'll move the rudder so that the hole is here, so it'll be easier for me to punch down the axle nut. Looks good. Now I'm gonna put wheel back on. Gonna hand tighten all the lug nuts. Gonna lower the vehicle. Gonna do the final torque, 89 foot-pounds. This part is optional, but can be very beneficial if you have ramps. So what I'm doing here is just making sure it's all the way inside the transmission. So as you can see, driver's side is good and passenger side is good. And also, just so you know, that's how the original axles look like. If you have aftermarket, it's probably better to just change them with original ones, whether you have issue or not. Alright, that concludes this video. Like I said in the beginning, there are a couple ways to replace axles. Most people do it from above. I don't like that because then you might have to do alignment again. I think at the bottom is a little bit harder, but no alignment is needed. Try to use original axles. I know that they cost more, but the issue I had with the driver's side, it just cracked while I was parking the vehicle. I think if you use original, you're a lot less likely to have those issues. On top of it, installing axles is not as easy as some other parts in vehicle, so I'd rather do it once and not have to do it again for 100,000 miles or so, versus using cheap aftermarket one with the risk of redoing the job a year or even less later. I showed you before on this channel, this vehicle used to have aftermarket mount right here, and it caused a bunch of vibration issues on reverse and all that stuff. I replaced it with the original one and I don't have any more issues here. I'll provide Amazon affiliate links at the bottom of this video for parts or tools I used. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll try to respond as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. See you next time.